Howdy folks, I'm Testy Turnip, tersely turning over troublesome tumbleweeds.
I'm Amber.
And here are more tumbleweeds for us to turn over, but it's not that hard because they're kind of round anyways, but be careful, they do accumulate quite a lot. Let's get started. Alright folks, and our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Laughing in My Sister-in-Law's Face When She DNA Tested My Daughter? I'm a 30-year-old male and I have a daughter who's 6. I'm not biologically related to her at all. There's no blood relation between us. I was friends with her mother for most of my childhood. We were never involved romantically and were always just friends. She had her daughter at 23 with her 25-year-old husband. When my daughter was newborn, about 3 months technically, both her mother and father were killed. I won't go into much of the details for privacy reasons, but it was a workplace shooting. My friend and her husband had worked in the same building and were both killed. Both my friend and her husband had grown up with less than ideal families and didn't have any siblings, so there wasn't any next of kin for the daughter to go to. However, because I was close to them, I was able to adopt her. Even though I had been iffy about the idea of kids, I didn't want their daughter to grow up in foster care or around people who didn't have a connection to her bio parents, so I stepped in. My parents and siblings know that my daughter is not my actual daughter, biologically speaking. My daughter, I'll call her Lily for the post, also knows that she's adopted. I never really hid the fact that she was adopted. She knows that her parents are dead and were killed by a bad man, but I'm saving the details for her when she's older. Lily does not look like me at all. She looks exactly like her mother and biological dad. Most people assume that I'm her dad and that she just took after her mom. I don't ever really correct this when people assume this because it just seems unnecessary. My brother has been with his fiancée for about 2 years now. A few weeks ago, we were all meeting up at my parents' house and my sister-in-law saw an old picture of me, my friend, and her husband. She pointed to my friend and asked who she was. I explained that it was Lily's mother. Sister-in-law got quiet and stood in front of the picture for a while. I didn't think too much of it. To clarify, she knows that my friend is dead. But I guess she didn't know that she had been married or that Lily is not my biological daughter. I suppose that she assumed that my daughter was mine and my friend's biological daughter. My sister-in-law got a DNA test done for my daughter behind my back. She used my brother's DNA as a test, and when it came back, they weren't related. She knew that meant that me and Lily weren't related. She came up to me with the results and waved them in my face, saying that I was taking care of a dead woman's affair baby. She said this to me in front of my daughter. I just stared at her for a while before bursting out laughing at this. I told her that I knew that Lily wasn't my biological daughter and that a thing called adoption exists. Her face went red and she stormed off. My brother is mad that I embarrassed his fiancée, but I said that she embarrassed herself by DNA testing a kid that isn't hers and then parading the results up to me. What did she want me to do? What was her goal with this? Did she want me to break down and abandon my daughter? My brother said that she thought that she did the right thing and called me a jerk. I don't like feeling like the jerk, especially considering my sister-in-law was the one who stuck her nose where it didn't belong. I'm asking for Reddit's opinions, mostly just validation, so was I the jerk here? Alright folks, and there is an update to this one. Update, my brother lied to my sister-in-law about everything. My sister-in-law ended up coming to my house and apologizing, as well as telling me the full story. My brother put her up to the DNA test. When I first adopted Lily, my brother for some reason believed that Lily was my bio daughter. He thought that me and Lily's mom were together and just weren't telling anyone. He believes that when she got pregnant, Lily's mom told me that Lily was mine and that she was going to say that it was just her husband and that I went along with it because I didn't really want kids. Sister-in-law was under the impression that I believed that I was Lily's bio dad. She saw the picture of Lily's mom and I, and after asking for clarification on who she was, she assumed that we were together and then got suspicious when she saw that the guy in the picture, Lily's actual bio dad, looked a lot like Lily. I also want to clarify that I didn't tell her that Lily's bio dad was in the picture because she had specifically pointed to Lily's mom, and I assumed that she knew that Lily was adopted. I didn't know that my brother had been telling her a lie for nearly 2 years. She got the DNA test out of her own suspicions, and my brother helped her with it because he thought that it would reveal that I was actually Lily's bio dad. He manipulated her into thinking that it would clear the air of suspicion, when really he was just trying to prove that I was really Lily's bio dad and lying about the reasons for adoption. Well, of course the results proved that I wasn't Lily's bio dad and that my brother was wrong. My brother felt too embarrassed to confess to his fiancée that he had lied about the circumstances, which is why my sister-in-law confronted me with the results. My sister-in-law also apologized for showing me the results in front of my daughter. She told me that her mom had an affair and cheated on her father, got pregnant with another man's kid, and had let the father believe that the kid was his. Her father was devastated by this when he found out, and she grew very resentful of women who did this to their spouses. She had wanted to sit down and talk to me about it without my daughter, but when she saw me with my daughter, she got angry, thinking that I was being led on to believe that I was raising my daughter when I was actually raising another man's kid, and she ended up exploding and immediately waved the results in my face. My sister-in-law does feel very guilty, and she's angry at my brother for lying to her. I'm not angry at her for doing the test because she thought that she was doing the right thing. I also forgave her for the way that she told me about the results because clearly affairs are a sensitive subject for her, and I can understand why she would want to have exploded like that. I'm pretty sure she plans to break up with my brother now, and I don't blame her. When I called my brother to ask about this, he admitted to it. When I asked why he would think this, he said that he couldn't think of a reason why a man who had been against having kids at the time would willingly adopt a baby without having a blood connection to it. He told sister-in-law that I was Lily's bio dad and was aware of the fact. He took it a step further and said that me and Lily's mom were together at the time of Lily's conception. Both me and my parents are going low contact with my brother for a little while now. I know that I will forgive my brother eventually, but I can't do that right now. He believed I was low enough to have an affair with a married woman, get her pregnant, take no responsibility, allow her to pass off the kid as another man's, and then only take responsibility because the mom died. Alright folks, what do you think of that saga?
I mean, I don't think OP's done anything wrong here. I understand, I think laughing is a natural kind of reaction in that sort of situation. I definitely think she should not have blown up in front of the daughter, and her past history doesn't clear her of that. The children have to be considered in all of this.
Yeah.
I think Opie's brother is a major jerk, and I think going low contact or no contact, whatever they said they were doing, makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I feel bad for OP in this situation because they certainly aren't a winner in the respect that, like, now this is a lot to drop on OP and, the whole situation with Lily now and everything like that. I mean, that's got to be not great to do in front of a kid. And I understand why the fiance would do this if she was, I guess, like, disturbed by it, but I again don't think that this was justification for her, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that OP's brother's reasoning was really terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was like, oh, the only way another man would adopt a baby is basically if they were, blood related to it, right?
Well, and I think that is telling in its own right. It may give the girlfriend another thing to think about too.
Well, and what happens, suppose this situation, right? I guess, like, she would have, where I was going to go with that originally was, like, what happens if OP had been adopted, right? Like, then wasn't related to the brother? Then that would have really just mucked up those kinds of results anyways. But since this was the brother feeding this information to her anyways, it would have been really hard. I don't know why the brother didn't ask OP about this. Maybe he thought that OP would deny it, but, like, how could he, knowing Lily and seeing pictures of their mom and dad and seeing how much they looked like the mom and dad, why would he assume otherwise? I just don't get it.
Yeah, well, I think, again, it's very telling about his mindset that he can't fathom, like, people sometimes have changes of heart when terrible situations happen. People who think they couldn't be parents find out that actually, I want to do this. I think it's more important that this kid has the future that they deserve. And that's not saying that everyone should or has to or anything like that. But, it just seems like OP realized that his love for his friend and their daughter outweighed his desire to remain child-free.
But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. Alright folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk Because I Won't Share My Proof of His Infidelity? 2 weeks ago this Thursday, I found out that my boyfriend has been cheating on me. So I packed up and I left the house. It is his. I have proof of his infidelity, and he keeps asking to see the proof. I don't want to reveal my proof because honestly, I kind of like the fact that now he doesn't know who to trust in his life. So, does not showing him the proof of his transgressions make me the jerk? I truly think that he thought that he could hide this and keep it hidden. No, I do not plan on returning to him. Cheating is a deal breaker for me, and I'm worth more than someone who can't decide if they want only me. Alright folks, what do you think?
Not the jerk. Keep him guessing. I mean, he's not entitled to this information, and if he didn't want it to get leaked, she shouldn't have cheated in the first place. Like, just don't cheat on people.
Well, I mean, I think that the only reason why OP should show him the proof, and I'm not saying that she should, is if there's any question at all on whether or not he cheated, right? Because if OP doesn't know for 100% that he cheated and, it's just ending the relationship, then that's not necessarily great. But it also shows, like, if she's willing to accept proof that isn't necessarily bulletproof, then maybe she was looking for an excuse to leave the relationship anyways, right? Because it doesn't sound like it sounds like she picked up and left pretty quickly here, right?
Well, I mean, it seems like there's no shadow of a doubt in her mind, so it's either very convincing or she was ready to walk.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I don't think she's doing anything wrong here. I don't think he needs to see the proof. And especially if he really did cheat, let him have that suspicion. Let him not know. Let him feel a little uncomfortable because, he deserves to feel uncomfortable for what he did.
Mm-hmm. Well, and again, how many stories have we seen where somebody lies about someone else cheating and stuff like that to break up a relationship? So I would really kind of caution about not having a discussion about these kinds of things if you are invested in your partner, because it might be a situation where something is made up. But I really would think those are the rarity of the situations and not the general rule. But I still think that it's worth having a discussion. Now, I guess it depends again, how much do you trust your partner? And it sounds like OP doesn't trust their partner.
Well, it also doesn't necessarily seem like he's contesting it. He's just asking for the proof. So I'm wondering if he's even contesting it at this point in time, or if he's just show me the proof, show me the proof.
Yeah. And I would guess that he's just asking for the proof. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Bella Santiago, 1975, says, Not the jerk. He only wants to know so that he can cover his tracks better next time. And Elderberry Jolly, 9818, says that, or so he can maneuver how he can still deny the accusation. Knowing what she knows, he will, in turn, find a way to discredit the source. And Off-Brand Barbie says, or he's cheated with multiple women and wants to know which person she knows about so he doesn't accidentally admit the wrong one and get himself into even more trouble. I don't even know if that's a problem here. I mean, I think he's in as much trouble as he can get into. And Big Butt Isabel says, Not the jerk. You don't owe him any proof, especially after betraying your trust. It's understandable that you want him to feel uncertainty that he created. You've already made the decision to move on, and that's what matters most. He doesn't deserve any more of your time or energy. And KLG999 says, Well played. He knows everything that he's done. He just wants to find out what things you've uncovered. Just leave him behind. You owe him nothing. Not the jerk. Alright folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here, and Amber, she has a joke.
Gramps, I made 2 trips across the Atlantic and never took a bath. Granny, I'd say that makes you a dirty double-crosser.
I mean, that wasn't actually terrible. I mean, that was a interesting way of putting that expression into an alliteration or some metaphor. I don't know. And this week, I have the special guest tea, the chocolate tea this week. Alright, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Fine as Frog Hair Friday, folks. I hope your Friday is off to a great start and it's very fine like frog hair. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance, and please have it on lies.
Oh, what a tangled web we weave when we endeavor to deceive.
I suppose so. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye!